Shit. 1 second, everybody. There is a technical issue with my music. That just won't stand. Because you can't do Saturday Morning Toytoons without tunes. And, man, it's very hard to do this when everything is elevated. It's much easier to mess with things at the back. Anyway, so without further ado, let's play some music. Oh yeah. That definitely suits my mood. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Saturday Morning Toytoons, the weekly live stream, still weekly live stream on my channel in which we gather around the modern day campfires of our iPhone screens and our computer monitors and talk about everything that happened in the week in geek. Also, every week I live style a figure, a 6-scale figure usually, but sometimes other scales, for everybody to enjoy. Which is, you know, just something I'd like to do. It's a lot of fun for me to have this opportunity to do this once a week for myself. You know, it's because I'm doing it a lot professionally. Actually, I was told by producer Michael this week that this week set a record for the number of videos that I produced for Sideshow. So that's why there's no movement on anything for the channel, because that studio back there has been taken over by Sideshow. And yeah, that's it. That's it. It's been exhausting and frustrating, and I really, really have to do a better job of calculating how long it takes me to do things. Because I'll start working on a video and I'll just be like, yeah, I'm gonna have this thing done by noon, and then at 3 o'clock it's still not done. And it's not that I'm slacking. It's not that I'm taking my time. I'm just not really taking into account everything that needs to be done in order to make the video as good as it can be. Anyway, so, is it a little too early for this kind of rock and roll? I don't think so. If it's too early, you're too old. That's how the saying goes, right? Anyway. So, how's everybody doing? Lots to talk about this week. Obviously, Ahsoka was amazing this week. Also, I rewatched last week's episode again, and I've completely changed my tune on it. I like it a lot more on a second viewing. Again, I've talked about this a lot of times before. I think that there frequently, and I don't think I'm alone in this, when I watch something like an episode of a show and it disappoints me the first time around, I think it's got more to do with me and where I'm at that particular time when I'm watching the show, what's going on in my head, because everybody's got stuff, and I think that stuff can sometimes kind of skew our perception of a viewing experience, of a TV show, of a movie, of a 6-scale figure, what have you. Whatever's going on inside definitely has an effect on your experience of any kind of media, any kind of art. I feel like critics, movie critics especially, would do well to keep that in mind. All right, I'm hating this thing. Should I be hating it? Why am I hating it? Why? Ask why a lot. It's very good advice. Anyway, so this week's live posing session will be with this figure, the Spider-Man homemade suit 6-scale figure. I think it's a deluxe version, right? It's a deluxe version. It feels like it should be a deluxe version because it comes with this really cool drone that really adds to the whole display experience. And there's nothing about this, in my mind, that actually is film accurate. I mean, I know it popped up in Far From Home. Far From Home? Yeah, Far From Home. And the reason I've chosen this is that on Wednesday or Thursday of this coming week, I have a photo shoot that I'm going to be doing for myself, just for kicks, featuring this guy, Mysterio, and Mysterio's Iron Man Illusion, which is a figure that I picked up on a daily deal from Sideshow. I think it was a daily deal. No, it was the Labor Day thing. Yeah, the Labor Day sale that Sideshow had going on. I picked up that and one other. I got another Tusken Raider. So now I've got the set. So now I can recreate that scene, although I already did that photographically by using Photoshop. I just copied, pasted, I reposed, and anyway, it's a whole technical thing. I won't bore you with it any more than I already have. Wow. And another thing I want to do is, after I say hi to everybody, I'm going to pop open this guy and play around with him. I hope I don't need batteries for it or anything like that. If so, I might just have to leave you guys with some dead air and go bouncing around the house trying to track down whatever batteries it is that I need, because this thing talks to you. It's like a Furby, only a droid. A Furby droid. A droid Furby? Not sure. This coffee's almost gone. I've got more. Don't worry. This coffee's cold. I should warm it up. I'm going to go do that. Ah, that's better. I love Robert Carlyle. I love Robert Carlyle in The Beach. That brief role that he had in The Beach as Bugs. No, Daffy. He was Daffy, right? Yeah, pretty sure it was Daffy. Anyway. Okay, well, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the chat, which I think I have not done the whole thing where I can do the pop-up chat yet. Here I was thinking I had everything, I was totally prepared, but no. Sometime today, pop-up chat. There we go. And I knew I was going to be like this today. I knew I was going to be kind of flaky. Haven't been getting much sleep. So anyway, rolling up to the top of the chats. I'm sure that it will have. Nope. Yep. Sure enough. I know that I happen to know that the first person in the chat this week was Bitter Troll, and but I don't know who else. But the first person that's popping up right now in my live chat is Steve Nara. Hey, Steve. How are things in VB, baby? Are you at work today? He's first because I work Saturdays now in office. That sucks, dude. Happy Saturday from some guy. Always some guy in the chats. I'm comfortable with that. I'm enjoying life and drinking coffee. Funny how those two things often walk together, isn't it? So funny. Funny odd. It's gonna bother me. There we go. Just chopping out the top of my head. I was having to like duck. It's like I was trying to clear out. Oh God, trying to create some headspace. Speaking of headspace, Mr. Mom Collectibles is here. Oh God, there was something I wanted to say about one of your videos, and I can't remember which one that it was. What were you talking about this week? It'll come to me. It'll come to me. I think it was you were asking, are you glad that you canceled? Are you sorry you ordered it or something like that? C3PO. C3PO. I'm walking the fence on that one. I really want it. I really, really do because well, as I've said here many times, Attack of the Clones, I think, is definitely my favorite prequel. And it sometimes dances, it walks the line of almost becoming my favorite Star Wars movie. Because it has so many things that I love about Star Wars in it. And despite its flaws, I happen to gravitate towards that. Like if I actually say to myself, I'm going to sit down and watch a Star Wars movie, 4 out of 5 times it's going to be Attack of the Clones. That other time it's going to be Empire Strikes Back, obviously. But I used this song in a video recently. Perhaps I've said too much. Because that video hasn't gone live. I want to give a shout out to my t-shirt, by the way. This t-shirt is designed by my friend Darren Carnell, who is an amazing painter of statues, figures, whatever. People will send him their statues that they want to have a makeover, basically, and he just brings out the best in every sculpt with his work. He books about 2 or 3 years out now. He's really booked up, and he does a lot of other things on the side. So yeah, he's not cheap, but he's worth every penny that he pays. So if you haven't heard of Darren Carnell, go check out his. I know he's got a Facebook page, Darren Carnell Bringing Your Figures to Life or something complex like that. You got to really work on that, man. That's like you need like a shield thing, right? Anyway. Oh, Brian is that your name? I think I didn't know that. If I should have, I'm sorry. Desmond Hassing is here. That's great. I'm interested to get some Desmond's thoughts on what's going on here with Ahsoka. My brain's all over the place today. Either too much coffee or not enough drugs. Or both. Because I really feel like there's a lot of hate coming down the pipe for Ahsoka, and I think that the people who are hating on it, because let's face it, that's what they're doing. First of all, I want to ask you, why do you hate Star Wars? Because you do. Whether you like it or not, that is Star Wars. And I think that they just don't appreciate what Filoni's trying to pull off. And what I feel like he's trying to pull off is he's bringing a lot of the Kurosawa elements into his stuff that he does for Star Wars. And that should come as no surprise to anyone who knows the man's history. And it should come as no surprise to anyone who actually knows about the origins of Star Wars. I can think of few better ways to tell a Star Wars story than to tell it in a Kurosawa sort of style. And this is actually much like that episode where we first saw, what's her name? There I go, forgetting names again. But the first episode where we saw Ahsoka as well in live action, it felt very much like a Kurosawa film, and it still does. And that's just going to be the element of style that he brings to Star Wars. And I welcome it. I think it's lovely. I think it's gorgeous. It's very, very cool to look at. Bring it. I hope it continues. And I'm really, really looking forward to talking about more. I'm really looking forward to getting everybody's take on it. So comment in the chats. Tell me what you thought. And if you disagree with me, I'm more than happy to tell you you're wrong. Totally did. Totally screamed while I was watching Ahsoka this week. So loud that Adabi freaked out and jumped off the couch. That's not the first time that's happened, and it won't be the last. It was really, really a pleasant surprise. I don't think it's... Yeah, Polly showed up. Well, I saw a great comment that was like, that was the weirdest episode of Kim's Convenience that I've ever seen. I love that. I love that. Let's see, I want to make sure I'm not skipping anybody. And I am. Bitter Troll is here. As is Commander Green. Again, go check out his Instagram account because he's coming up with some cool stuff. Dude, the stuff that you're doing with the LAATs is next level and a lot of fun. I can tell you're having a lot of fun with it. Congratulations on those photos. It's great, great stuff. Yeah, go check those things out because they're amazing. I've been having all kinds of internet issues here. I think that something's going on with AT&T because I just bought a pair of these. Any day now. Focus. Is this thing on autofocus? Is my autofocus off? There we go. I'm gonna focus on that. I bought a pair of Air HomePod Minis, man. And I just got tired of anytime that I wanted to listen to music from here while working in the studio, I had to turn it up really to enjoy it. But Piper's bed is right down there by the subwoofer, and she was not digging it. She was not having it at all. So it was legitimately an impulse. I wish I could say that I did some research, but for some reason I just got up one day and walked out of the house, got in the car, drove to Best Buy and picked one of these up, got it home, set it up. It was easy setup. I mean, you plug it in and it connects to your iPhone immediately and boom, you're good to go. And I enjoy the sound of one of them so much, I got to thinking, man, how good would it sound if I had a stereo pair? Because they work that way. They're just amazingly brilliant and intuitive, and what they do is they actually listen to what they're doing in your particular room, and they adjust accordingly. So I went back, got a second one, and plugged it in. Sure enough, it just totally changed my whole workplace environment, and I'm enjoying being in there more now, even than I was, and it's everything for me. So if you have Mac stuff, hi Bad Wolf, and you're looking for some way to, I don't know, brighten up your listening experience, consider the HomePod Mini because I freaking love it. And before I got the gray one, I didn't realize they had this really, really cool deep blue one. Kind of wish I'd gone that way, but oh well. Next pair. Brandy Woods is here. Did I skip a comment of yours? I feel like I probably did. As is my good friend Keith Lee. For the record, I was first to post on the 8:35 a.m. CST stream. That's what it was. That's what it was. That was a total screw up on my part. I hit the wrong button. And the calamity ensued when I tried to fix it. It wouldn't let me cancel the stream, and I was just like, wow, am I live right now? Is everybody hearing me curse and yell at YouTube? Because I was. Luis is here. Good to see you, my friend. Saying hi to everybody like he does. Loquacious and friendly dude that he is. I love that you did a countdown. That's so cool. I still haven't caught up to when I started. Kumar's here all the way from Malaysia. How's it going, my friend? Another great Instagram account. Although I haven't looked, again, I never go to Instagram. I think it's the most popular social media platform right now. And for whatever reason, I just can't bring myself to go to it. Probably because I'm not posting a lot of photos. I'm mainly doing video content. And it's usually only this. I know, guys. And especially to you people who have so generously become members of the Posing Posse. I thank you for that. Yeah. I'll be getting stuff done here soon. Oh, TK421 Collectibles is here. Dude, you are generating some stuff. And I love how you're diversifying lately. Coming up with some different topics. It's been a lot of fun to watch it go down. And I'm sorry that I'm not commenting more. I'll make it a point to do that. But usually when I'm watching your stuff, it's on my phone. And I hate typing things on a phone. I'm really, really bad at it. I have to go back and correct like almost everything. Let's see who else I'm missing here. John Galgano is here, another fantastic Star Wars fan. Not to besmirch Steve Nara, who's huge. Da Bear is here. Whoa, who's this guy? Weep Grana, Weep Nini Bong. I love that. I don't know what that is, but I love it. How are things in Scotland, my friend? I'm not going to make it over there this year, as it turns out. So... but next year, there's always next year. So many green meanies in the chat. That's right, there are. See, who am I missing here? Steve131, also from across the big pond. A lot of people from the island are here. Well, defending their island, whatever the cost may be. That's right, man. Sorry for that. Marlon Braswell's here. Hey, what's up, dude? Figure Posing channel is also here. Hey, Anthony, how's it going, my friend? Yeah. Dude, that was a great video, dude. And it had me freaking out. I'm like, was mine fucked up too? I actually didn't go and look. I don't even know. I may have... I'll have to go back and watch that first look. Maybe the boots were backwards on mine as well. I don't know. I have no idea. I've been breaking so much stuff lately. If you look over my shoulder, wrong shoulder. If you look over my shoulder at the Mythosaur skull, you'll notice that it's missing a horn. Yeah, because when I was hustling through my house trying to wrap up that Kate Bishop video, speaking of which, there she is. When I was working on this video, it was a challenge and a half. Come on, what are you focusing on? You're not focused on her. Oh, you're focusing on the bow. Yeah. So, when I was working on this video, I was late. I had an appointment to meet at a gallery show to meet the head of that gallery, where allegedly I will be hosting my own photography show in 2 years. That's how far ahead they book out. I didn't make it. I was so far behind on this freaking figure. Thanks a lot, Kate. That I didn't make it. I didn't get to meet her, and yeah, I disappointed a couple of people. Oh well. There will be another opportunity, one hopes. Yeah, you know, sometimes I just like to use the word style as opposed to poser. I guess it's because I'm just trying to elevate the art form, and there's no greater way to be a poser than to put on some airs. Figure stylist. I want to say that was actually on a business card when I worked at Sideshow, but I could be wrong. Pierre P from Florida is here. What's going on, my friend? Never too early for rock and roll. I completely agree. And there's a very limited number of songs on this playlist, so I kind of have to... Oh, this is the last one. So I'm going to pull up the next playlist before it goes into other music that may not be Yeah, play next. There we go. It may not be approved by... It may not be royalty free. Which this isn't royalty free, but at least I paid for it. Oh, look, Gina B Collecting is here. Hey, Gina, good to see you. There we go. Heath Lee. Oh, you watched it? Oh, you're the one. No. After 12 hours, it only had 2,000 views. I don't think it's going to be that popular of a figure. Which it should be. It's great. There are some limitations that you don't typically see in a Hot Toys figure. You will notice during the posing session, or not the posing session, but the articulation segment, that, for instance, that the legs won't rotate at the hip like most Hot Toys figures do. There are other figures, mostly female-bodied figures, and I'm looking at you, the most recent Black Widow figure, I think was one of them. Definitely the White Widow figure. God, so bad with names. Also, the feet won't rock back and forth. They only extend forward and backwards. And what was the other concern that I had? I feel like there was one more. Oh, there's no... I couldn't get the shoulders to shrug and do all this. None of that movement. So that's weird. Anyway, but I'm still able to effect a pretty awesome pose. I mean, I just dropped the arrow into my coffee. I'm really happy with this, and the fact that it's able to maintain. This is all balance. I'm not using anything. This is all balance and the figure stand gripping her leg. So a combination of two things. I really, really love this pose. It's gonna break my heart to break it down. I know that it is because I've broken it down once already because I had to reshoot part of the articulation segment, and I liked it so much that I redid it. I put it back together again. So, yeah, don't let what I said about limitations in the range of motion and articulation, don't let that dissuade you from getting this figure because it's great. Another thing I want to point out about the Kate Bishop figure is that I completely failed to capture the quality of the portrait in the video. There are a couple of times where the light hits it just right and you can see the likeness is really spot on. But for overall, I didn't do what I consider a stand-up job on that. So don't rely on the video that I did for Sideshow for that. It actually looks way better in person than the video that I shot. That's what I get for hurrying. Christina Payne is bringing the pain once again. How's it going, Christina? Dark Wolf Games Vlogs and Content Reactions is here. Hey, Terry, how are you and Piper? Piper's maintaining, my friend. She's doing good. Hey, girl. Her head's up. She's looking around. She's curious to know what's going on. Why am I talking so much? What Hot Toys clone troopers should Hot Toys make and release next? Great question. What would I like to see? 212th Battalion. 212th Battalion. Although that would be one that would actually hit me in the wallet because I'd want to get more than one. So, and I'm trying not to do that when I can avoid it. I have 3 of the 501st Deluxe. I have 4 of the Coruscant Guard. Shock Trooper, whatever you want to call it. I think the technical name is Coruscant Guard now. But yeah, I think for my money, I'd really love to see the 212th. Now, if you're looking for a non-army building, like a character-specific clone, this is a deep dive, but I would really love a Cutlaw Quain. A Cutlaw Quain figure would be really, really, really fun. I would love to have that one. Apart from that, if we're looking into commanders, I'm trying to remember his name. But the clone commander that we saw in Rebels with the really badass haircut. Everybody was talking about his haircut, and his name is right on the tip of my tongue. It's gonna pop it's gonna pop out of my mouth at some point. Really love to see that guy. Actually, he makes an appearance in the Bad Batch as well. I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom. I'm sure somebody's dropping his name. Brandy Woods says she'd appreciate a Carson Tifa from Hot Toys. Well, yeah. That man's no clone, though. Oh! I almost did. Not really. Anyway, moving back up to see how far wow, I got a lot of catching up to do. If indeed I even endeavor to catch up, because I do have a schedule to keep. That is very wise. That is very wise. And I think that's difficult for a lot of people to do. I'm guilty of doing the opposite of that from time to time as well. So I understand it, and I'm aware of it, which helps me to adjust my perceptions. And that's really the key, is if you go into it with expectations, you need to recognize that that's happening. Don't be looking forward to seeing that particular event occur that you think is going to happen. Don't put too much stock in your predictions. Let the storytellers tell their story, and don't be an armchair quarterback. Do not be an armchair quarterback. I really feel like armchair quarterbacking is an ignoble thing to be, even in football. And I don't like football. American football, European football, global football, real football is fun. But now, anyway, and especially that kind of an approach has no place in pop culture. Seriously, I mean, if you feel that strongly about the way a certain story should be told, then you need to go out and tell those stories, man. Figure out how to become a content creator yourself and just go out there and create shit. And maybe if your shit's good enough, then you'll get roped into working with some of the big names. You'll get to actually participate in creating some Star Wars stuff. That's what happened to Dave Filoni. That's what happened to Jon Favreau. They cut their teeth. They went out and took their lumps. They learned, they grew, and now they're telling Star Wars stories. They're playing in the big sandbox. Do that. Dob Bear agrees with me. The Kate Bishop figure looks amazing. It's going to be hard for me to send this one back. I didn't expect to feel this way about it, especially halfway through the video shoot. Expectations and hype are a real thing. That happened with me with Thor, Ragnarok, and Love and Thunder. I was disappointed at first, but love them now. So glad to hear you say that. I really, really love Love and Thunder, and I have from the first viewing. Mostly because I read the Jason Aaron books from which they drew the source material for that particular story. And while it only has a superficial similarity to that story that was told in the comic books, what came out of it, the evolution that came out in the film, completely different story, very well told, a lot of fun, and I welcome having two different versions of that story. I think it's great. That's the original suit from Homecoming? Is it? No. Far From Home. It is the original suit from Homecoming. You're right, but it made an appearance in Far From Home in one of Mysterio's illusions. So, I think that was all, right? Yeah, pretty sure that was all. I'm about to do a psychological assessment of us collectors when it comes to films, figures, and such. I really, keep me posted on that. That intrigues me a lot, more than you probably know. I really am interested in devouring that. So keep me posted. Where can I read, watch, whatever? I want to know. I want to know. So make sure that I know, if you don't mind. Or if I can. Maybe that's not something that, I don't know. Chris Colvin is here. What's up, dude? Droid maker extraordinaire. Good to see you. I'm trying to remember what your Instagram account is. Colvin Creations? Is that right? Yeah, go check him out, because he makes some badass droids. I've got one around here somewhere. Dude, funny story. I don't know what happened last night. I was up kind of late, but and I crashed on the couch for a little while watching. What was I watching? Totally can't remember what I was watching. Gotta work on that. Anyway, I was watching something and just fell asleep, and woke up, went to bed. Got up this morning to let the dogs out, went into the living room, and my freaking front door was open. No idea what that's about. There's an issue with the doorknob on it, and if I don't deadbolt it, and there's a good wind, then it'll blow it open. That's just something I have to fix, and I just haven't gotten around to it. So yeah, that freaked me out, and don't think I didn't walk around the room and the whole house just taking stock of everything. It seems like everything's here, but I've got so much stuff that something could disappear and I wouldn't know for a long, long time. It's like when that jackass, God, I can't even remember his, Carl something or whatever, that asshole who I met once and was just like, I don't like this guy. And then I had nothing to do with him. I saw him, we had a lot of the same friends back then at Comic-Con and everything. And turns out that he made friends with with what's his name, the ones that runs Rancho Obi-Wan, and he's the guy that wound up stealing that original Boba Fett figure, of which there are only, I think, like 3 or 5 in existence, and sold it on eBay or some site. And you've all heard this. You all have to have heard this. And what's his name didn't even know it was missing. He saw it come up and he was like, wow, that's something you don't see all the time. And he went to where he thought his was and it was gone. And so were several other things. This jackass had become friends with him and had free run of Rancho Obi-Wan and was stealing shit and selling it on eBay. He's in jail now. Hi, Carl. Jerk. Oh, you got the Sphero R2D2 Bear? Yeah, that was fun, man. I never got one myself. Do you really miss the weekly donuts? My waistline doesn't. Although for some reason I'm gaining weight again, and I don't know why. I blame the pumpkin ale. It's pumpkin ale season. And I do drink it prolifically. Aaron S is here. Spider-Man Hot Toy fan giveaway? No giveaways today, my friends. I didn't have time to figure out what I should give away. I don't like have a pile of giveaway stuff laying around. I just kind of go down in the basement and find stuff when I have time, but I just haven't had time. Jedi Chris. Anybody with Jedi name in the name is welcome here, my friend. Good to have you aboard. Exactly. Whatever happened to the donut girl? I don't know. I've been to the donut shop a few times, and I haven't seen her in a long, long time. So maybe she's gone. I don't know. Oh, he was in a film with Sam Jackson? I was not aware of that, first of all. Now that I am, I think I'm going to have to watch it. Yeah. Oh, did you really? Good score. Picked up Grievous 25% off, $97 in rewards and free shipping. Well played. Well played. Such a deal on Blurg and Mando pack, so I finally splurged. I love that you guys are able to take advantage of these deals, man, because that Blurg and Mando pack, is it not awesome? Do you have it? Oh, no, you haven't unboxed it. Okay, you're going to love it. I mean, mine has pride of place at the top of, on the very top of a system of 4 shelves, open-air shelves. And just having him up high like that, sitting astride the Blurg with the phase pulse rifle, just kind of like setting cocked on his hip and pointing straight up in the air, is such a Star Wars Frank Frazetta combo for me that I get really excited every time I look at it, or when I think about it, or when I talk about it. Obviously, getting texted. Oh, just an old text from Keith Lee. Pay it no mind. There we go. That's a good way to put it. I like that. I'm glad you came around on episode 3 because there were so many treats. Yeah, man. I'm sure that it was just, I was all up in my head about something and didn't even know it. And I let that affect my experience. But going back and watching it again, so much to love. So much to love. Not enough love for Rogue One. In what way? There should be plenty of love for Rogue One. I've got a little Rogue One nod over here. On one of my shelves in the living room. It's the wooden stormtrooper doll that little Jin had on I can't remember the name of the planet, but at the beginning of the show, the one that the Death Trooper picked up. God, I hate it that I got rid of that Death Trooper Deluxe that had that little doll. That was such a great way to display that figure. Just blaster in hand, just holding that doll, just looking at it like, I don't know, there's just something about that. It's got a quality that I really, really love. Dude, feeling the pain. I need new tires too. That's gonna run me about $1,000, maybe a little more. Pirellis aren't cheap. That's what I get for buying a stinking Audi. What's your go-to 80s song to lift your mood up? I love questions like this, Kunja Club. Thank you. Go-to song. St. Elmo's Fire. St. Elmo's Fire, Man in Motion. The theme from the movie, starring the Brat Pack. That's one. That's definitely a strong one for me. Higher Love by Steve Winwood is another good one. Raise Your Hands by Bon Jovi. Anthemic, love it a lot. God. I would have to sit. That's one of those conversations where if you were here and we were just chilling on my couch in there in the living room and just having conversations and some whiskey and whatever, that I could talk about that for like an hour and just start rotating 80s songs, just throwing 80 songs up onto the speakers and like, here's an 80s song, here's an 80s song, here's an 80s song. That just sounded funny. But just listening to different 80s songs, just trying to figure out. Another one is Walking on Sunshine. That's a great one. That's a great one. So many great 80s songs to make you feel good. I'm going to have to, I feel a playlist coming. A playlist is being born right now in my head. You can't see it, but I can feel it. Sometimes life gets in the way. I'm sure the Blurred 2-pack will go on sale again. I think Sideshow has so many of them in stock. I don't know. I don't have access to those numbers. Or do I? I don't. Trying to think here. What do I have coming? I mentioned already that I have Mysterio's Iron Man Illusion and the Tusken Raider, two things that were completely not on my radar, coming to me right now. And I did just get the Mythos Asajj Ventress and immediately broke it. Immediately. Not my fault. It was flawed. The left hand the key was too tight for the keyhole, and I was like, come on, man. I mean, it's one of those things that's magnetic. It's just supposed to, like, you get it close, let it go, and it pops right in. But I don't know what was going on there, but it wouldn't go all the way in, so I just kind of pushed it a little harder here and there, and then her arm the wrist just broke off. There's the piece. I will outweight you, Nikon. There's the little piece that broke off of her wrist that I plan to reattach later. And I also have to figure out a way to fix that guy. The way I do things backwards, Terry. Yeah, I have to fix that guy because he's foam underneath. There's like some solid material which accepts the paint and everything like that, but much to my chagrin, it's actually just a really light foam underneath, and I'm pretty sure, correct me in the chats if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that if you use like super glue on foam, that it will eat the foam and it will dissolve the foam. So I have to figure out what adhesive works best when you're trying to fix foam. Probably going to be like wood glue or something like that, I don't know. But we'll see. Haters, says Da Bear, are just tourists and hate on things because it's the cool thing to do when you were in grade school. It's honestly time for them to grow up. I feel like there's a lot of truth in what you just said. There's a lot of maturity that seems to be lacking in a lot of these comments. What was it? I just saw a comment last night. Some guy was just like, there are no more white X-Wing pilots. Like, can you hear yourself? And I actually went to his account, and he seems to be a real person. He doesn't seem to be a bot. But he was saying that there's like no white X-Wing pilots anymore. I'm like, okay, that's not true. Pretty sure there was pretty sure there's a white woman at the helm of one of those X-Wings in the last episode of Ahsoka, first of all. But whatever. I mean, if you want to watch white people fly X-Wings, go back and watch the OT. There you go. Problem solved. God, when that black guy showed up flying the A-Wing, I wonder if he just freaked out. Just lost his shit. I freaking hate people like that. Really bring down fandom. Well, no, they don't. They don't. Don't let them. Don't let him. Keep loving. I'm enjoying Ahsoka. I look forward to every week. Great to see Paulie back again. Yes, it is. He's becoming the Stan Lee of the MCU with his cameos. That, or in conversation with Paul, I've actually said, dude, you're like the Nick Fury of Star Wars. Yeah, and I think that's kind of the direction that they were going to be going with Rangers of the New Republic. I'm pretty sure that he was just going to be gathering this team. That's what it looked like for a while there. He was getting Gina Gershon, or not Gina Gershon, whatever. But he was legitimately finding different people, and I think that Rangers of the New Republic show would have been rad as hell. My thoughts on Ahsoka this week is to wonder why Force Ghost Anakin gets the AI de-aging treatment, but past Anakin and Obi-Wan does not. I don't know, man. That might have just been some weird artistic decision. I mean, they de-aged him a little bit for Obi-Wan, but it wasn't to the same extent. And in reality, I feel like I feel like the de-aging, or what we saw of Anakin in Obi-Wan, was a lot more believable. I don't know. I don't want to be unkind, because there were some artists that did some great work on bringing him to life in that show. Excuse me. And I'm grateful to have him there. Just something about it just tickled my... There's a phrase that I'm looking for here, and it's totally escaping my mind. Pauses to drink coffee for a delay tactic while he tries to think of the thing he can't think of. Oh. Big Dog Pound is here. Everybody howl. Everybody howl for Big Dog Pound. Dobby? I'm not even going to try. Chris Colvin reminds everybody to smash the like button. I would love that if you guys would do that. And if you haven't done it yet, please just do it. Maybe you can't because you are just listening to this in the background and you're driving down the road or something like that, so you can't actually actively hit the like button. You're across the room just listening to it while you chop up vegetables for whatever you're cooking. That was oddly specific. Yeah, dude, I'm really liking what's going on there, especially in this one, in this most recent one. She's full on doing some... I don't even know enough about the different disciplines of what goes into fighting with katanas, but just the fact that they started having her fight with just one of her lightsabers instead of both, I love that. Oh, what a great idea. And she's doing that whole gripping like this. I don't have one yet. I really want to get the pair, but I just don't know who to get them from. Who has the most accurate lightsaber hilts for Ahsoka? The more recent, the katana style lightsaber hilts, the curved lightsaber hilts. I want to do my research on that before I buy. Michael Biehn was in that Mandalorian episode where Ahsoka first showed up. That's the 8x10 I had him autograph for me. Good for you, dude. That's cool. Good choice. Good choice. I wonder how he felt about that. Like if you were gonna, if you were an actor and you've been in so many great things and so many epic roles as Michael Biehn, then do you have a favorite? Something that you're most proud of? That every time somebody brings you one of Hicks from Aliens, is that the one you're like, oh yeah, cool, man. I had a good time with that role. You know, is it Kyle Reese? But then somebody shows up, or do you get tired of signing all those, and then all of a sudden somebody shows up with some of your more recent work, and you're just like, nice. So I kind of like that you did that. The entire Star Wars universe is an adventure, and I am enjoying the ride, as you should. As everybody should. And I specifically want to ask people who aren't... I just want to say, why do you hate Star Wars? Because this is Star Wars now. Whether you like it or not. And if you don't like Ahsoka, you don't like Star Wars. Period. You may like parts of Star Wars. But as a whole, I question your commitment to Sparkle Motion. Who got that reference? Yeah, dude. I do that a lot. God damn it! A restaurant for toxic Star Wars fan. Doesn't matter if the food is good or bad. They will still be back week after week, eating the same meal, and just to complain about it online. That's a good analogy. That's a good analogy, dude. Seriously. Got a hair. I legitimately have not washed my hair since the last time I did a live stream. Not to gross y'all out. I think the Kurosawa comparison is apt, and I think everyone who has a problem with these Star Wars TV shows really should wait to judge them as complete products. That's the thing, especially when you're doing something as they clearly are here, as a slow burn, which is what they're definitely doing with Ahsoka. There's a build time, and that's characteristic of Filoni in general. He's done that with Clone Wars. He's done that with he did that with Rebels, and he definitely is doing it with the Bad Batch. Although I think they got into more action-oriented stuff, I think, a little bit quicker here. Something I never talk about is resistance. I found things to love about it, but it really wasn't my jam. There was some cool shit in there, though, wasn't there? Has anybody watched Resistance? It's very, very different feel. I feel it was more meant to be more kid-oriented, which feels like a Disney mandate. But, I don't know. I think those who followed animation, especially Rebels, would appreciate the show better. I had to spend time explaining to someone on Marok's death. Gotta teach myself how to pronounce that name properly, since they have no clue on the Dathomir witches. Damn! I had spoilers without context for this episode. I'm just gonna have to show them to you on the phone because they're fun. Because I didn't upload them, and I apologize for that. Let's see. I really have to make sure that I'm not showing anything I'm not supposed to show. No, not like nudes. I'd totally show you those. Here we go. Okay, first spoiler without context. There we go. Right? Second spoiler without context. I'm gonna come back to that one. There we go. So, just give you time to see it, figure it out. Those who have watched the show will get this. Those who have not will have no idea. Third spoiler without context, and this is one of my favorites. There we go. Hopefully you guys are getting this, and I'm not just being super vague. And the final spoiler without context for this episode. That's what we saw. That's what we saw with Marok. I'm just gonna do that now on purpose. Mispronounce it on purpose. I feel like that's what we saw with Marok. I feel like that was Dathomir witch stuff that was going on with him. And I really hope we're opening the door to, because we got Darth Maul back. I don't know. Dare I say that it's not too late to bring back Savage Opress? If not, if it's just a standalone Dathomir witch magic necromancer sort of stuff, then I'm fine with that too. Dude, come on, no. AT&T's been good to me. 1,000 megabytes per second download and upload. And, like, to this day, Sideshow was like, how did you upload that video so quickly? Well, I don't know why I didn't think of that. Good one. Yeah, dude, okay, some guys got it. You're on board, man. You're on the HomePod bandwagon. I'm so impressed. The great dynamic range of them, the clarity. I'm hearing things in songs that I hadn't heard before, and that to me is actually the benchmark for a good speaker system. The best speaker system I ever had, the best surround system I ever had was retail about $10,000 back in like the late 90s, early aughts, all the way up to like 2014 or 2015 when I finally sold it because there was just no room for it in the house we lived in. Still regret that, especially selling those speakers. Oh God, because the speakers that I had were like, I don't know, like $2,000 on their own, $3,000 on their own. Yeah. But when I first got those, it completely transformed my music listening experience as well as my film watching experience. And so that's like the only thing that I've experienced that's better than these HomePods. That's, if that says anything. Really? Well, maybe it is the router. Because I am also having issues with the HomePods that is clearly Wi-Fi based. It's not the HomePods that are the issue. It's something to do with the Wi-Fi. The HomePods are great until they aren't. Yeah, that man does have some Beskar legs, doesn't he? Have I answered enough questions here? Have I talked about stuff enough? Something else Brandy Woods wanted me to bring up is I finally got to see the live action Little Mermaid. Loved it. I prefer that version now over the animated version. And I was a big fan of the animated version. But so good, man. So good in so many ways. The new things that they added to it, I don't know if it's perfect. That's something else I wanted to bring up. A question that I wanted to ask everybody. What's a film that you consider to be a perfect film? As you all know, for me, the first one that pops into my head is Tron Legacy. Very much a perfect film. All the way from design work all the way up through the score. Miss you, Daft Punk. Let's have that reunion. Let's do it. Oh my god. Oh no, I'm not bad. Okay. Let's hope so. I did get a text from my professor who actually brought this whole thing into the forefront. This whole notion of me having a gallery show to the forefront. To see if he wants to come over and actually watch me work. And I think he's probably going to photograph it because he photographs everything. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's going to come over on Thursday, and we're going to, he's going to watch me work. First time that's happened since I worked at Sideshow. No pressure. Toy Quest 101 is here somewhere. There he is. Hey, dude. I'm scrolling through these things so fast. Crime Sweepers, the web series, is here again. What's going on, dude? What is your favorite hot toys you own? You really gonna make me choose, huh? All right. All right. Favorite hot toy that it changes all the time, bro. I really like that Arena Suit Fett. It is currently the only figure that I have that has a Detolf shelf all to itself. So I think that probably says something about how my fondness for it. I don't know. Hard to say. It's really hard to say. I was thinking about that earlier. I was thinking, because I'm picking up more and more. I'm picking up individual figures just based on how good they are, not necessarily because I'm trying to complete a collection or add to a particular collection. I can't talk about that one. There is one recently that I just got on the wait list for when I shot the first look video for it this week, and I was planning on skipping it, but in shooting the video I was so impressed with it that I immediately sent an email and said, hey, any chance that I could get on a wait list for this? And I'm on the wait list for it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm trying to think of what else. Lately there have been several figures that fit that. I'm stepping outside of the boundaries that I've established for myself in my collecting. I don't know. I would have to sit here and think about it. That's another one of those conversations that needs to happen over whiskey. Yeah, probably would. Oh, crap. That was a big jump. Are you going to back the Giant Man HasLab? I am not. I mean, if I didn't back the Ghost, then hell no. I think it's safe to say that I'm not going to be backing anything anytime in the near future. For me, it was down to the wire. Like, I very easily, 5 minutes before the deadline ended on the Ghost, I was still thinking about it. And I just sat there and watched, literally sat there and watched the clock run out. Desmond Hassing, you of all people, I would expect to answer that question in that way. You're looking at it and more analytically and not allowing your emotions to get involved. And I recognize that I'm probably doing that a lot, even in the case of Tron Legacy, which I will go to the mat for, with claiming that it is a perfect film. Way of the Dragon? I've never seen it. Never seen it. Back in the day when I was younger and all my friends were watching Bruce Lee films, I didn't have access to it. I was in a very Christian household, and I don't know how Christian the household was, but the people my parents hung out with were very Christian. And Mom, God love her, see what I did there, wanted to impress. She did. She wanted to be accepted, so yeah. She was sweet. And that's not the word I was going to use, but it's equally true. Oh, I heard about that, Bad Wolf. She messaged me this morning and mentioned that. That's how it came up in conversation. Yeah, Empire Strikes Back is pretty perfect, Dot Bear. Man, you're just on fire. Marak. It's a great name, man. That is just such a great dark side name. Just got all Final Fantasy up in this thing, right? Oh, come on, man! Oh, God. Whatever, dude. I'll see you at noon. I'll have words for you then. I'm just gonna answer the door naked. Any arguments these people make that Ariel is supposed to be a redhead are performance. What they care about is who is being cast today, not past Ariel. I don't know. That chick's hair was pretty red, dude. Man, her voice, her performance, everything about her. I mean, she sounded like the animated character, like the voiceover actor who played Ariel in the original. She sounded like her. And powerful, powerful pipes, man. So impressed with everything about her. As usual, I have to turn this song down. It turns up, gets a little loud. Sparkle Motion sounds like a My Little Pony name. Guys, I probably brought this up before because I love talking about it, but either do it now if you want to interrupt the stream, or do it later. But go to Facebook, go to YouTube, where you are right now, probably, and do a search for My Little Pony Wu-Tang Clan, and play the video for Shame on a Nigga. Because it's pure joy. It is absolutely hysterical. I mean, I can watch it now and not lose my shit laughing at it because I've seen it so many times and I'm kind of inured to it. But the first several times that I watched, I was falling over laughing. I mean, whoever put that together, kudos to them, because that took hours and hours and hours. Good stuff. I'll say no more. But My Little Pony Wu-Tang Clan. Look that up. It's important to remember that people who comment on a lack of whiteness in Star Wars don't care about Star Wars as a whole artistic thing. They are hyper-fixated on modern-day society. And I agree with that 100%. And I think that there's an element of, when these people watch Star Wars or some sort of pop culture, whatever, they're looking for themselves in their heroes. So they want those heroes to, that's why you hear so many people just, the only phrase they can think of to describe something they like is that it's badass. Because they want to see themselves as badass. They want to be seen as badass. And so they want their heroes, the people that they desire to emulate, the people that they, I don't know, hero worship, whatever you want to call it. They want to see all those qualities that they wish they had possessed in themselves, in those characters. So when those characters come out as flawed, for instance, like Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, all of a sudden that is just a bastardization. It is sacrilege to them, because how dare you take my hero and make him flawed in that way? And they look at that, at say what happened in Luke, and they're just like, oh my God, he's such a pussy. No, man. He's been through the ringer. I mean, think about that guy's life. What he's gone through, what he's lost. Even before he was born, what he lost. So eventually all that is going to catch up to you. PTSD is a very real thing, and I've talked about this before, I love the fact that the Disney and Marvel shows Disney Star Wars shows are focusing very heavily on characters suffering from PTSD and the effects of it on them. Because it's very real, and it makes them more human to me, and it makes them more believable, and it makes me relate to them more. I don't need my heroes to be idealized. I don't want my heroes to be idealized. In fact, these same people who bitch about this, when you create an idealized hero who isn't even really idyllic, like let's just say Rey, they came up with the whole Mary Sue phenomenon, and then they bitch about that. So You know, which one is it? You can't have it both ways. The clone commander I was returning is in fact Commander Hauser, and I got really close because in my brain I was thinking, is it Howitzer? Is it Commander Howitzer? For some reason I always associate his name with that particular form of artillery. Yeah. Is that right? Because I have a Galaxy's Edge Legend Saber, or whatever they call them, of Ben Solo Saber, and it's the edges on the edges aren't really crisp. The details aren't really all that sharp, and I'm not overly impressed with it. But it's been years since I was at Galaxy's Edge, so maybe they've upped their game. I don't know. That's true. That's 100% exactly how I feel about it. Anakin and Ahsoka is not Force Ghosts. Force Ghosts don't have mechanical arm. I think it breaks canon. Well, we're clearly in the world between worlds here, right? Which is interesting to me because what it seems like they're doing is they're kind of combining the world between worlds and the Jedi afterlife, where the Jedi hang out. Sorry, man. I'm thinking about those deepfake videos of Qui-Gon and now Obi-Wan is a Force ghost because in their watching of the shows, he's actually moved on. At least it wasn't the last time. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where they go. And that's one of the things that I love most about Ahsoka is that it's totally taking my assumptions and my predictions and everything and throwing them out the window. And I love being surprised like that. Love it. And so we'll see where he's going. You wish. But you're not talking about contemporary criticism here anymore. You're talking about just how it affects you on a more visceral level, and that's fine. Media is going to affect people on a visceral level, but when it comes to being analytical about stuff, you gotta step up your game and just the whole. I feel like everybody can have an opinion. That's okay. It's kind of a cop out. Yeah, you can have an opinion, but your visceral reaction to something has very little merit on its quality. I feel. That's my opinion. Ooh, okay. Thanks, Brandy. Appreciate that. Right? Right? I'm like, come on, man. Oh, God. If these people would, if I allowed them to, these people would really get to me. Fortunately, I'm in a place right now in my head where I can just blow them off. Another compositional adjustment. Dude, yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude, yeah, let's talk about that next time we get together. Offer still extends to use the couch. That's fun. Yeah, dude, so good. Yeah, same. That's exactly my experience. I recognized that it wasn't for me, and just accepted it for what it was. Don't flash nudes? You know you want me to. Why are you lying? Make sure I'm not missing anything cool here. That's it. That's exactly so. Just by way of, I've made this analogy before, but armchair quarterbacks are essentially, you think of Harry Six-Pack, the stereotypical football fan who probably has never played in a lot of cases has only played football, never played football outside of, say, high school, and maybe even then not on the team. But they love the game and they devour it. They're very passionate about it. But at the same time, they're second guessing the head coach's decisions, for instance. They're second guessing the decisions and the calls of a man who is, they're doing this thing. They're watching this game 1, 2, 3 times a week. This guy made that game his life. He eats, drinks, sleeps with it. That's gross. And you actually have the audacity to assume that you know more about how to do his job than that man who has become an expert in it, that is making millions doing this job. No, sorry, man. That doesn't work. That doesn't track. And the same analogy holds true for people who have no experience in filmmaking, trying to second guess the decisions of George Lucas when he's writing the prequels. How well did those hold up? Those criticisms. Look at how people respond to the prequels now. And I said even back then, I said in, I don't know, when was it, 99 or 2002, whenever, I'm just like, you know, the people who are kids right now watching these prequels in 20 years, yeah, same thing for the sequels. I've been very vocal about my disdain for Rise of Skywalker and so many aspects of Rise of Skywalker. But that kid who was 5 years old and watched that movie for the first time when he was 5, 20 years after that is going to be crazy about it. Probably. I don't know. That's a good idea. I'm getting good ideas here. I love this. Anyway, what time is it? 10:37. Definitely time to start doing something. Crazy, right? I just feel like Nikon's just persnickety. Oh boy, this is great. Okay, I love you. I love it when you talk geek shit, Kumar. Okay, why Ahsoka chose single blade to fight. Baylan uses Form 5. Power attacks and defense immediately followed by a counter strike. Double blade won't do well. I love you so much for bringing that in. Because I don't know much about the Jedi fighting styles. I've never immersed myself that much into the lore. So hearing somebody who has some understanding of it talk about that, that really gives me a geek boner. Man, I love that so much. That is very, very funny. That's a throwback to Han Solo and 3PO, right? The thing about opinions is, and I welcome discussions about opinions, because as long as those discussions between two people who hold different opinions are held in an effort to understand the opinions of others. If the whole reason for having a discussion about a disagreement in opinion, then disagreements, NCE. I actually created a new word there. I'm feeling like Shakespeare. But if the whole reason behind having a discussion about differing opinions is to just prove yourself right, to be proven right, to be a right fighter, I think is what it's called, then there's no value in that. None. There's no value in that. You're better off just having your opinion and keeping it to yourself at that point, because then you're just stirring the pot. But again, if I don't know, it helps to have at least a base level understanding of what goes into make all the process of filmmaking and storytelling in general. And for someone with no experience in that field in filmmaking to assume that they can have a discussion on the same level as, I don't know, pick Steven Spielberg. That's just arrogance, and you're fooling yourself. You know, you've got to take into account your level of experience and understanding of the process. I will hold firm to that. Not all opinions are equal. There's a lot to be said for experience that can back up an opinion, or the lack thereof. Man, I'm feisty today. Sorry. What's Neverending Story? Oh, God, I hate it when I forget what was being discussed. Infinity War. Oh, yeah, okay. So yours is Neverending Story. All right. Haven't watched that in years. And not that many years, like maybe 10. Let's see. Keith Lee is saying Infinity War. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. The way that they just twisted that. And that was... Clearly, Thanos was the hero of that movie. I mean, seriously, that was his story from beginning to end. And I loved that. The way that he just took off his armor at that point when he started out on his quest, it just became, it was like a spiritual journey at that point for him. That was just what that symbolized. So that removal of the armor, it just became, he became a pilgrim, almost, on a holy quest, and that just made it all the more magical for me. And the fact that he succeeded, I mean, that's what happens in that kind of a story. The pilgrim just overcomes all this adversity. He experiences loss, and he experiences strife, combat, fights, whatever. And in the end, he triumphs over all that adversity. So that was totally his story, man. And I love it from that perspective. Alien and Aliens, yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. That freaking song that Aquafina did. I was just grinning ear to ear. I can't remember the name of the track, but yeah, man, it was just so freaking good. It's I haven't done it yet, but I'm definitely downloading that track and just listening to it at some point. You need a whole room to display the ghost. That was an easy pass on. Okay, I get it. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Seriously, it would have had to have been a coffee table experience. But it's really, really cool. And ultimately in the end, that thing is a toy. It's not. It is a really well-made toy. Real faithful recreation with all sorts of storytelling elements that potential for so many storytelling elements within it. Yeah, but I just couldn't. Labyrinth, eh? Princess Bride is definitely on my list. There's a shortage of perfect films. That was great, dude. I love Jungle Book so much. It's going to be on a sliding scale, right? I've been thinking a lot recently about, because there have been some portraits, some Hot Toys portraits especially, that have been drawing a lot of heat, and I feel it's unwarranted. A lot of these, that's the thing about, another thing about opinions, is a lot of them seem to be like black and white in the way that they're made. Pass or fail mentality. There's been a lot of that in geek culture in general. And I don't welcome that. There's a lot more nuance involved. And again, I make it a point to recognize that everything exists on a sliding scale. I could break out from the mid-aughts a Sideshow Star Wars figure, and if I delved back far enough in a particular message board, I could find people raving about the portrait, about how it, oh my god, it looks so much like Luke Skywalker, for instance. And everybody just, at the time, everybody was like, man, that is the greatest thing that I've ever seen in a figure. And this is a time period when a lot of people, like myself, were being roped into 6-scale collecting. Because, you know, mind-blowing for me. Much better than what we saw from Hasbro back in the, Kenner back in the 70s, or Hasbro in the 90s, or whatever. And here we had this thing. But if you released a portrait, like, say, the Jedi Luke Skywalker, which I think was the first 6-scale figure that Sideshow produced from Star Wars. In today's market, as much love as it got back then would get panned left and right. I don't think a single person would jump up and say, my god, that's so good. Because it's evolving. And every time that Hot Toys hits a new bar for likeness in one of their portraits, that's great, but for a certain segment of the collecting population, anything that comes out below that is shit. To hear them talk. I mean, this Kate Bishop figure, not the best portrait. Yeah. That's what I get for having a shallow depth of field. But it's there. I mean, I see Haley Steinfeld in it completely. But not to the same extent as, I don't know, who's come out as Ming-Na Wen. Yeah, in Fennec Shand. I mean, that was amazing. Again, that's a new level. But eventually somebody is going to, one of the sculptors is going to create a portrait, a likeness that is going to elevate it to a whole new level. And if the next figure that comes out is only at the Fennec Shand likeness level, there are going to be some people out there that are just like, no, man, it's not nearly as good as so-and-so. Well, that's going to happen. Don't focus so much on hating. Leads to the dark side. Where I hear they have coffee, which makes them more than... I don't. Be right back. And please understand, everybody, I mean no disrespect to people who are chiming in saying, well, yeah, I should have an opinion. Well, yeah, you should. But just kind of do some thought about what actually constitutes an opinion. It's okay to say, I don't think the story was well told, and here's why. But many of these people are saying the artist shouldn't tell this particular story. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, man, that's fair. I just don't have the space in my living room. When you show up here, you'll see. But the fact is that that's not for me. That's for people whose homes have more space. And I really hope I get to lay eyes on one someday. It just won't be in my house, unfortunately. Besides, that's the cost of 2 Hot Toys figures. That's really where my focus is, as it should be. I feel like that's not for me. Allison's here. Hey, Allie. How you doing? While I enjoyed the movie, I had some issues with the acting. King Triton didn't have the temper he needed to, and even Ariel was more stoic than I would have liked once she became a human. Well, yeah, I didn't catch that at all. I guess it just rolled right off of me. I don't know. I saw someone comment that they thought the face was off on the Kate Bishop, and I was wondering what they were drinking that early in the morning. It's good, man. It's really, really good. And again, I totally blame myself. It's, yeah, it's solid. I guess I could nitpick, but I ain't gonna. Yeah, I like it a lot. The costume is great. Costume is amazing. The thing about these 6-scale figures is that in a situation like this, I can look at this costume and just be like, oh my god, I watched that entire show and I didn't realize that the colors on the sleeves of her shirt were asymmetrical. They're not the same color. It's a minor difference in tone. But actually just seeing all the little tiny details that you know that Hot Toys is able to get because they have access to assets and resources that we don't. And they bring them to life in a way that this is the closest we'll get to experiencing being in the room with the person in costume. And yeah. Armchair quarterbacks are like fight experts who think analysis equals expertise. Everyone has a plan, aka is an expert until they get punched in the face. Yeah. That is fair. Oh god. Yeah, that's another one I had to pass on, sadly. Out of the way, Kate. Out of the way, Reaper. Reaper's back on my desk, and I have no idea why. Out of the way, Minibucks. Thank God there wasn't a dog back there. All right. That's it. I mean, let's take the last 10 releases. Don't select them, like the last 10 releases chronologically by Hot Toys that feature actual portraits and likenesses. And then randomly go back, say, 5 years. And pick a window of 10 releases, Hot Toys releases from 5 years ago. And then hold them up to the light in comparison with each other. Now, I guarantee that at least 1 or 2 of those figures from 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever, people would have been raving about it, saying this is the best likeness in 6-scale history. There would have been at least one that had that honor, quote unquote. That's a dubious honor, but whatever. But if you hold that, if you cherry pick from 10 years ago, that one that everybody was raving about 10 years ago, and held it up to pretty much all of the sculpts from today, the 10 most recent sculpts, there would be very little argument that all 10 of them would have improved in quality over time, because it's a steady march upwards in quality. That's one of the beauties of being a 6-scale collector and watching all this shit go down. Because, I mean, you gotta celebrate it. You gotta celebrate evolution. You gotta celebrate the progress. Uh-oh. Chatterback Chopper. That's cool. How did I miss that? That's nice. Hasbro's so good, man. Our Anakin 20th anniversary figure, I physically gasped at how good it looked, and that doesn't happen often. Right? I posted that to my Facebook page. I posted at least one of the photos, maybe 3, I'm not sure. And I actually said, my comment was, take a look at this photograph, this promotional image of Anakin Skywalker from Revenge of the Sith, and then realize that what you're looking at is actually an action figure. And the number of jaw-dropping emojis that were left for that by people who were my friends who don't engage with the 6-scale community at all was pretty remarkable. Chatterback Chopper. I've had the TVA. Have I had the TVA one in hand? Did I do that one? Yeah, I did. And I don't know. I feel like first of all, I disagree that the first Loki was perfect. I think it was great. But and the TVA Loki one I think was fine. It's not a deal breaker. Likeness is not a deal breaker there. But it's I don't know. I think that one suffered a lot with the lighting. That's another one I didn't like really well. Or maybe I'm being too hard on myself. I don't know. Did Terry say, look at this photograph. Every time I do it, makes me laugh. Oh, God. Did I say that? Oh, jeez. That's embarrassing. Oh. Boy, these ties that they use on these toys are a challenge. Trying not to break Chopper's arms off. Did I get them all? Free me, free me, free me. Free the Chopper. Get to the chopper. Yeah. Oh, man. I gotta say, I really wish that I found a way to integrate that seamlessly and without just, like, being so obvious about it. Is this one tied up too? Oh, no. Dude, they locked this thing in there good. It's like it's so well locked in here that I'm like, how did you even get that in there in the first place? All right. Should I start warning the dogs before I throw things over my shoulder? Geronimo. No, wait. What do they call it? Timber! Whatever. Okay, are there directions? Whoa. Okay, that's annoying. He's falling forward. Which I guess makes it look like he's running. I need instructions. Somebody told Paul that I said that. Yeah, that's no good, because he won't hold up when he's... Alright. Fatal flaw number 1. But maybe it's just me. Maybe I just haven't read the instructions yet. Okay, so I do in fact need 4 AA batteries. Okay. Oh, and I need a screwdriver. You guys mind if I go get a screwdriver so that I can show off my new toy? Be right back. Got batteries. Be Be right back with the screwdriver. All right, dudes. Let us see. Think I got enough? Oh, it's a lot bigger than 1/6, Dub Bear. It is a lot bigger than 1/6. It's probably quarter scale. At least fifth. Hold it up to my head for yeah, frame of reference. What have I got? Oh, like, okay. 6 scale R2. And quarter scale, and whatever this is. So at least a fifth. At least 1/5, but probably closer to a quarter, because Chopper's quite a bit shorter than R2. And I want to say that his torso should be the equivalent. So lining up the torsos there. There we go. Yeah, that's quite a scale difference. I wouldn't pair that up. Besides, we're gonna get a Chopper figure. You can bet on it. Probably a 2-pack with Hera. All right, so what have I got here? Ooh, there's a button. I love buttons. It says, must be on the back. Oh, it is on the back. Good. Probably could have gone with a bigger screwdriver. Probably should have gone with a bigger screwdriver. Which is what I tell my bartender all the time. No, not really. Okay. All right, out with it. Thought it was gonna fall. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves in the chats. Talk amongst yourselves as I do some maintenance on this Chopper figure here. It's not really. Is it really maintenance when all you're doing is putting batteries in? Maintenance might be too strong a word. That's a phrase I never thought I'd say out loud. Okay. He's talking. He's talking. I'm just going to screw this back in. Okay, so the arms, I don't think the arms move themselves. I think you have to pose everything on your own. But I'm just going to go ahead and kick him back. They do move on their own. Oh my god. Let's turn. What? You got something to say, Chop? Dude, I know what I'm doing all day. Seriously. Yeah? Okay. Can we open this? Oh, you like that? Oh my god. Everything moves. His feet move. Let me just, hold on. What do you have to say? I think he actually listens. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so perfect. It's way better than I expected. I came so close to canceling you. You have no idea. What? Yeah. Seriously. You are perfect. Oh my god. These batteries are going to be dead by the end of the day. Oh god. Okay, what else can we do with him? I'm going to bring up the Apple box and just put him on the Apple box. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Alright, what do the instructions say that I can do with him that I'm not doing? Okay, let's hold on. You hit this button twice and something is supposed to happen. So, right? Huh? He does little wheelies. Okay. Let's do it 3 times. Man, you're kind of bitchy. Oh, he's got so much character. Oh, seriously. That's a power button? Okay, you hold that button to turn off the power, but he actually responds to, like, what's this? Oh, God. Oh, man. I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of like winging it. But he's legitimately responding to things that I'm saying. I mean, not specific words, just the fact that I'm talking. Oh, my God. I wish he was focused. I wish the camera was focusing on him and not me. Oh, God. He's so perfect. I've no regrets. 60, 70 bucks. I can't remember what I spent. Maybe 80. I don't know. It's so good. Yeah? All right. Yeah, whatever. Okay, dude. You're so cool. But I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Yes, Gina. Yes. Oh, he does not like being turned off. Yeah, now I'm going to know what the crew of the Ghost went through. What I need to do... I think I just reactivated him. We'll see. What I need to do... Yep, totally just reactivated. Okay, off you go. Off you go. Enough. Crap, baby. Alright, so I'm going to put him down somewhere. And it is time, past time in fact, for me to get posing on this Spider-Man Far From Home figure. So... Dude, I thought about that. I straight up thought about that. But the thing of it is that he doesn't stop. He keeps going until you turn him off. So he would be constantly going in the background. That might be too much of a distraction for me. But maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I was going to say I totally opened this. I usually open... Oh, and I did. I just thought I was holding it from the bottom, but I'm not. Yay. Yeah, this one has all those crazy effects, and I'll have to determine whether or not I'm going to use those effects. So, just a quick look at the contents of the box. Is this aisle cockeyed? Maybe. Okay, so I need to make a lot of noise. Look at this. This drone is like seriously. I love robots and mechanical things, and this was a well-designed character. Mark Attack just walked in. Hey, Mark Attack, what's up, dude? Simo's here as well. Linda, did I know you were here? Who else has showed up that I didn't know about? Is Paul here this time? So yeah, this is going to be really, really cool. The photograph I'm going to do isn't going to be screen accurate, so to speak. I don't care. I'm not after that. I'm almost never after that. When I do big production like this. But the thought is, what I want is, it's going to be multiple layers falling off into the distance. But in the photograph, I don't even know that we'll see much of Spider-Man from the front. It's mostly going to be him scrambling backwards or in some way turning away from Mysterio's Iron Man illusion. And behind Mysterio's Iron Man illusion will be Mysterio himself in the background with one of these drones. There's also another drone, a smaller drone, like a forced perspective kind of a drone that comes with the Iron Man illusion figure. I just lost another hair. I'll be bald. At this rate, I'll be bald by the end of the show. So it's going to be a pretty complex composition that I'm going to have to construct. And I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So, given that he's going to be on the ground, I won't need to implement this flight stand. But I will need the stand for the drone. And I'm trying to remember... Where is it? Oh, it's got some green webs. Anybody remember what that represents? There's something down there. Looks like another stand. Oh. Right. Okay, so I will need to implement the stand if I'm going to use the drone. Fuck, there's another hair. Right. You get out of the way. Hey, Piper. So the goal of this live stream is to have the pose for Spider-Man roughed out at the very least. Obviously, when I get the camera, get him in front of the camera, then I'm probably gonna have to make tweaks, just in order to ensure the best composition. I'm probably gonna need, yeah, I'm thinking the wide eyes, because he's really gonna be freaking out. So let's get those out. The eyes are gonna be what I lose today, Keith. You watch. Just remind me that they are underneath the apple box. So no webs necessary. He's going to be totally in defensive mode. Let's see this. There we go. I think this should work. Yeah, I don't need the Spider-Man stand. I just need the drone stand. All right. Some assembly required. Shit. Oh wait, is that open in the end? Yeah. Okay. That's great. Worry about that later. Oh guys, I'm so hungry I skipped breakfast, which is fine because my friend Scott Heinemeyer, who may or may not still be in the chats, is coming by here at noon today, and we are gonna go to Max Local Eats. I'm gonna get myself a big fat best cheeseburger in all the land. Pay attention. That was an opinion. All right, shut this up here. Screwdriver. And sound off. If you've so I have no idea. One of the adjustments that I'm going to have to make after I get this thing all set up is the height of the drone. Mysterio drone. I think I had a problem with... There we go. He's locked. Locked and loaded. All right, let's see what comments that I've been missing. Oh, yeah, I thought about that. And something I thought about, too, and I wonder if Paul's thought about this, because I was considering doing something with something similar to Paul's... Wow, that's not staying on there at all, is it? Huh, weird. I was doing something similar to Paul's Little Boba in my own world, and I first of all, I didn't, not because I don't like the idea. I think Little Boba's a freaking brilliant thing, but I did it because that's clearly Paul's thing, and let him have it. But my thought was, if I'm going to do something similar to that, then what I would do is I am struggling with these eyes. But what I would do is I would, instead of actually having a physical figure on the desk taking up space, I would just do a photograph of it on the desk in that position. And then, there we go. Yeah. So wide-eyed surprise. And I do need some hands because I can't have him doing fists. Can't find the hands. Oh, there. Ooh, those wall crawling hands would be perfect. Yeah, go with that. I wonder if I can find some other hands. I've been doing a lot of work in my studio, and most of it is organizational in nature. Moved in a really big toolbox. Just to clear stuff. I had stuff all over the floor. I had stuff tripping over stuff constantly, and it was getting to me. So I'm doing a lot of basic organization in the studio, and I'm loving the way that it's going. Okay. Now maybe I will have web. I don't know. I'm totally doing this. All right, so here we go. This is going to be somewhat different. I'm going to need to clear this off so that you guys can see what I'm doing here. But I'm going to get this arm back. Oh. That's pretty cool. So I was thinking originally that I was going to have him sort of... So this is the position he's going to have to be in. So I'm going to have to futz with it and pose it up this way. And I'm thinking this leg should be up and this leg should be extended. He's going to be scrambling to get away from this drone. Or from, not really from the drone, but from the illusion that it's projecting, that being of zombie Iron Man. Let's see. Like, how should he be? Should he be like this? Crossing over, get that hair off of him. Let's rotate that. Like, how's that look? It's hard to tell, isn't it? Because it's not focusing. So I'll just have to focus on me. And it's also not up high enough. Maybe I should get some sort of elevation here. I think just this book will do. Hey, Mike, it's your prize. It's waiting on you. There you go. That should be up enough. So that's a good baseline. And what I have planned for it is, again, Mysterio's Iron Man illusion is going to be right here coming at him. And behind it will be... Let's move this stuff out of the way. I'm running out of time. I need to be done by 11:30 so I can be ready for Scott. So, get this over here. And so behind him was going to be this guy, which allegedly he's not going to be able to see, but also, and I'm just going to move him out of the way because there's just no room for everything. But this is how, I've already got Mysterio posed up. Mysterio will be like off in the distance, but this is how he's going to look. Let's just go ahead and spin these things around a little bit. Yeah, so something to that effect. If I bend this leg, there we go. Yeah. So this is good. This isn't exactly. Oh, look, Jazzy's here. What's up, Jazz? Oh, Always check on that. It's true. Oh, dude, that'd be great. Is he breakdancing? Oh, God, get the boombox. No, Brandy, he is scrambling to get away from, well, in this case, obviously, he's getting away from Mysterio, but in the ultimate photo, he's going to be trying to escape from the zombie Tony Stark. Oh, maybe. I don't want to clutter it up too much, Keith. We'll see. Actually, I won't really know until Thursday when I actually do the photo. So maybe I'll have to swing by and pick up some drones if you're accessible to that. Thank you. Oh, yeah, the Lazy Susan. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. Tragedy is about to happen if I'm not careful, so I'm going to be careful. 2 hands. Always use 2 hands when moving your figures. I don't always do that, but it's like your dad used to say, do as I say, not as I do. So put it over here. There we go. Cool. There we go. Good work on that one. Thank you, Bad Wolf. Right? That's working. Oh. The hump in the cape. Ever-present hump in the cape. I believe it was. Yeah, I love this already. Okay. There it is. And lacking the Mysterio's Iron Man illusion to put with it right now, I think that I don't have well, I don't have the Iron Man illusion here, so I can't really bring anything else out at this point. And we're gonna have just try to imagine that there will be one of these. Will it stay? It will. That's cool. Oh my God, this is going to be great. And the intent is I'm going to have like a really sickly green gel, this color gel, over a light behind them. So I'm going to have all sorts of like smoke blowing in the background and surrounding them and hopefully not obscuring anything. I'm really going to do my best to generate the feel of, and the look of Mysterio's illusion scene with Spider-Man when he was just bullying Spider-Man and just really laying into him and terrifying him. Another opportunity for a 4K turnaround video, most definitely, and you can bet that there's another one coming by the end of the weekend, Keith. Probably going to be Megatron, but there is another option there as well that I won't speak of at this point. Oh, I got a wow. Thank you, Gina. I got a that's rad. Thank you, Sunnyvale Russ. Thank you, Linda. Mysterio's so hot right now. And it looks great. Thank you. Blue Steel. All right, guys. That drone will fall. Gives me anxiety. I'm so cavalier. Let's go ahead and spin it around some more. Oh, bumped into the mic. I might want to, when I'm doing this, I might want to rethink the use of f1.8. It looks great in all other situations, but, or maybe a second camera. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. Thanks again for all of my subscribers for helping me to eventually bring StreamYard into play. That's going to happen this guaranteed to happen this next live stream, next week's live stream. I will have StreamYard in play instead of this. And I'm going to start featuring guests, and not just like, I know that I've mentioned my friend JP Mavinga has volunteered to be on the show. I've got a few other people who have volunteered to be on the show as well that I won't mention at this point. But I also want to bring some of you in. I would love to have, say, Harold, my friend Harold, come in so we could talk about figure photography and the evolution of his photography and my photography. And there's a few other people I would love to have, if he's accessible to it. Anthony from 6 Scale Posers, from the 6 Scale Posing Channel. I can't. Hard to keep track of everybody. There's a few of you that I would love to invite onto the show and just have a conversation with you and just take this, what has basically been 1 year of and more of just monologues and AMAs in the chats and everything like that, and elevate it. It's about time that the channel did something new. Jen Edwards likes this. But anyway, and yeah, thank you, dude, for everything you're doing, for helping, for your part in actually getting me back, returning my love of 6 scale collecting to where it needed to be. So without further ado, I'm going to go and let you go. It looks like Piper needs to go outside. So you all have a good weekend, and until next time, be good to your plastic. Bye now.